three.
All three, yeah.
Action.
Hi Mr. Henderson,
Hi.
thank you for coming. So why is education important to you?
To me, it's too important to even express that it's everybody's passport to whatever their future is. I know that there is a certain currency of progression that, you know, whichever education system you're in, what results do you get, how do you get to the next stage or whatever, but there's something more fundamentally important than that to me, which is helping people to understand what makes them tick, what makes them who they are, what's important to them, so that when they move through to whatever that is, they're going to live a life where what they do is in alignment with who they are. So to me there's something really way more important than just getting results, and sometimes schools are measured only in the sense of what results they get. So yeah, there's some pretty big stuff there. I could go on for a long while about that.
And why is the Festival of Education important? Why do you think an event like this needs to take place?
For me, I think bringing together a whole range of people to discuss, debate, have a conversation about what's important in education is really important. It's a truism to say that nothing works everywhere in education and everything works somewhere. So that didn't come from me, that came from way more important people than me. But I think the idea is that no one can universally state that this is the way you teach or this is the way education should happen. There are different things you do in different contexts. And people need to discover those. One big problem with education is that most of the conversation, debate about education takes place on Twitter, and you can't have a particularly reasoned debate in what is now 280 characters. Yeah. So you end up with a slightly polarised look to the landscape of the educational conversation is basically you're either here or you're here. And I think what this can do is to open up a much richer conversation. It's also, from a Wellington point of view, it's you know, we have this unbelievable privilege here, the incredible grounds, great facilities. We don't know everything. In fact, we know a very small fraction of everything. But we do have, I think, a responsibility to enable something like this to happen. So we bring together, we've got about 70% of the attendees here are state school teachers, and that's really important to what Wellington stands for.
And how long have you run the Festival?
It's my second year.
And what's been the most exciting?
The rate at which my hair has fallen out, and that which I still have stands on end. It's the most exciting bit of the Education Festival. There's a real adrenaline to putting something together when you haven't done it before. But in terms of the content, I don't think we've seen the most exciting stuff yet. We've got some big plans for next year. We've changed the identity of the Education Festival a little bit the last 2 years. We've really generally moved away from the celebrity with a big mouth and an opinion, who knows nothing about education, but you know, asks us for 5,000 quid, and just because they're famous, they've once been on, you know, breakfast TV or something, we say, here you are, and they come in and spout something useless. So hopefully we've moved away from that. I think what we've got here is very grounded. Teachers come here and they get loads of useful stuff that they can go away, and on Monday morning or you know, next term they can do something different in their classrooms that will really have an impact on young people. So I think that's, for me, that's actually, it doesn't sound very exciting, it's the most exciting bit we've done. I hope that we can move even further down that road.
And what do you see the Festival of Education looking like in the next year or two?
Well, just from a physical standpoint, it's going to look really different next year. We're going to have the Performing Arts Centre as the main venue for the first time, so the main tent's going to look very different, and that whole area on South Front will be different, and getting everyone in that unbelievable space that we're going to have, I think will be good. It's the 10th, as I said, 10th EdFest, so we're going to try and do something special. We've the last 2 years we've come up with some neat ideas for strands. So for example, this year Women Ed has really taken off, has been amazing. The special educational needs strand has also been hugely successful, and we've got some, I'm not going to spoil the story right now, we're going to do some announcements, but I think we've got some nice ideas for some good things to do next year that will again connect with different people and bring a different audience in. So.
Okay, I have some quick fire questions.
Go for it.
What's your favourite book?
My favourite book ever?
Yeah,
ever. The Art of Fast Bowling by Dennis Lilly. No one will ever have heard of it.
What's your favourite song?
This Is the One by the Stone Roses.
And if you were to be stuck on a desert island, who would you like to be stuck with?
No, I can't answer that. My wife.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.